Alright, hey guys, welcome to a new video, and today we're going to be doing something that's a little bit different than what I usually do on this channel, and it's more of a discussion. And the topic of discussion today is who made SMC fans? Was it SMC or was it GD Midea? Now this is a ongoing topic that's kind of being discussed around the fan collectors community, and some people think it's made by SMC, some people think they're made by Midea. And I wanted to sort of put my own thoughts into this and a couple points to back up my opinion. So I think SMC fans were made by SMC and not Midea. And by the way, this video is in no way a way for me to bash other people's opinion. I do respect other people's opinion, and this video is meant to be more of a contribution to the ongoing discussion and some reasons why I think that SMC fans were made by SMC. So here's our first point that I want to make. This is what appears to be SMC's website. This is the only website that I could find that points to SMC, and it looks really outdated. But if you look at the date down here, it does say 2022, so I guess it is up to date. So anyways, I want to draw your attention to the center of the screen. And when you load up this website, this pop-up or this warning comes right up in the middle of the screen. And essentially, they're just mentioning and warning people of counterfeit SMC products, which I personally have never seen before, but they're just saying, watch out for counterfeit items, because here is the most important sentence here. They say, please be aware that SMC has stopped manufacturing and distributing oscillating desk and stand fans and parts in the United States and Canada since 2006, and as well as ceiling fans since 2013 and 2008 respectively. I think the most important word here is manufacturing. If Midea made SMC fans, it would be Midea's responsibility to send out such a notice on their website and not on SMC's website. And again, here they are stating that they did manufacture these fans. So there's point one. And right here they say USA and Canada. So in the United States, SMC fans were mostly sold with the SMC brand name, but there were occasional rebrands such as Hampton Bay, I think, Lake Breeze, whole bunch of other brands. And here in Canada, if you guys know my channel, you'll probably know that Super was the biggest rebrand name that SMC fans had in the 1990s. Of course, there were some other brands too, like Hampton Bay, but primarily Super. So I think that's what they're referring to here with these. It does make sense, knowing I've collected numerous Super fans over the years, and 2006 seems about the time when Super kind of disappeared. And that may have affected SMC as well, who knows, but yeah, so also ceiling fans here, but again, I wanted to point out that manufacturing, I think that's a important word here, proof that SMC did manufacture those fans, and at least, prior to 2006, who knows what happened after 2006, but at least prior to that, all of the SMC fans were made by SMC, in my opinion. They also mention, some points about that, and that came out in the 15th of June, 2021, so not even a year ago. And if you X out this thing, you have SMC's website, and there's some stuff on here, and there's this link to a fan website. Well, it's the same one as the one I've got up here, but essentially, it looks like SMC fans are still in production, but they are no longer distributed across the world, but I think they're more exclusively sold in Hong Kong, or at least in China. And here's their catalog, and also it is dated 2022, so I'm assuming this is up to date. And there's some product listings here. I guess they have like pretty decent selection of ceiling fans and portable fans. Yeah, and then about us. Oh yeah, here they also talk a little bit about their history. You can see that since 1952, So they've actually been around for a very long time. SMC pioneered Hong Kong's ceiling fan manufacturing industry and was the first manufacturer to export ceiling fans to the international market. And of course, we know that there's a lot of SMC-made ceiling fans across North America, and another proof that SMC did make fans. Yeah. And they did make portable fans as well, according to this website, or that pop-up that was there. And yeah, so the website is the first thing I wanted to show you guys. They do state that they did manufacture the fans, and based on this, it looks like they are still making portable fans, although not in North America. So there's point one, and the next thing I want to talk about is this. Now, I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with this. It is the famous SMC fan recall that happened in the 2000s. And it looks like 2005 maybe? Nope, June 6, 2004. And essentially the story with this one is that there were certain variants of SMC pedestal fans, these two right here, I guess, that were prone to catching on fire because the power cord going up to the motor, the insulation would rub off during oscillation, which would arc and catch on fire. At least that's what the quote-unquote experts say. Not sure if that's exactly what happened, but anyways, they were fire hazards and they were recalled. And from what I know, based on my knowledge, product recalls are only initiated by the original manufacturers. Now, here you can see that the SMC, it's only mentions of SMC, they were the ones who started the recall, and that kind of tells me that SMC manufactured these fans, at least, from these dates shown here. Because if Midea made these pedestal fans, including, all other SMC fans, they would be the ones who would initiate the recall and not SMC. And there's absolutely no mention of Midea in the website, nor I could find on anywhere else on the internet. So, yeah, there's another proof or another point that kind of backs up my opinion. Let me see, I haven't really read this article. I'm just doing this as I'm recording this. I probably should have done it beforehand, but let's see. Yeah, SMC reported. So yeah, my point here is that the recall was initiated by SMC and not Midea, which kind of tells me that Midea was not really involved in this at all at this point. And also here's a look at Midea's website, which appears to be way more modern than SMC's website. It is up to date, 2022, and from what I can see, there is absolutely no association between Midea and SMC. I mean, there's no links or anything referring to each other, and on the internet, I did some pretty intense digging, and I couldn't find anything that really told me that there were any connections between Midea and SMC. I don't think Midea makes fans anymore, or, oh my gosh, what am I saying? Of course they make fans, but they don't make fans for SMC, that's what I meant. Because we know that those Wang Blade Box fans at Walmart, those are made by SMC, and yeah, these are not fans. But I think a lot of the Home Depot fans are made by Midea, so a lot of the big box store fans. So Midea does make fans still, but I don't really know how early they began making fans. And yeah, there's absolutely no information on the internet that I could find that told me that SMC was made by Midea, at least in the 90s. Alright, so that's about it regarding the websites. And the next thing I wanted to show you guys are some videos that I posted on my channel, as well as some other people's videos. This is the Franken fan that I built a couple years ago using a 2004 Hampton Bay 18-inch pedestal fan. This was a very crude fan that I made. I no longer have it, but I still have the parts. And the motor tag, or the information tag, says Shell Electric Manufacturing. It's kind of cut off, but it says that on the tag. And in most cases, when the manufacturer puts their name on the sticker, it usually means that the fan was made by them. And there are instances where the rebadged names company will put their name on it, but in most cases they don't have the word manufacturing in their name because they are not the manufacturer. And since we know that SMC was a manufacturer and still is technically, I strongly believe that SMC had, or Midea had nothing to do with SMC prior to at least 2004, or at least up until the recall, because there were some kind of blurred lines in the 2000s, kind of like the mid 2000s, regarding Midea fans and SMC fans, but prior to this, I personally have not found any traces of Midea in SMC fans. So I think all of the 90s SMC fans and the early 2000s SMC fans were made by SMC and not Midea. Here is another SMC made fan that I have. This is a 2003 Hampton Bay 12-inch fan. And then also, same kind of example, it's got Shell Electric Manufacturing Holdings Company Limited on the tag. Now here is a fan that belongs to a fellow collector, Jordan. This also is a SMC fan, but this one is a 16-inch table fan. And if you look at the tag, it's from 2001, and it also says Shell Electric Manufacturing Company on it. Now, Jordan actually has a whole bunch of SMC fans, and I believe nearly all of them say the exact same thing on it. And I think all of his fans are either from the 90s or the early mid-2000s. So another point to back up my opinion. But here's the big thing. I do understand why some collectors think that SMC fans were made by Midea. And it's because some of the parts that were used on Midea fans were pretty much exactly the same as the parts used on SMC fans. And I actually have an example here of something that I owned. This one is the 1998 12-inch Super Pedestal fan. And take a look at the blade hub, or the spinner nut. Notice the little groove right there, the little lines that go along the side, and the big flange that pops out near the blade hub. And here is a much newer Everyday Essentials oscillating fan that I had. I purchased this in like 2016, I believe, and this was made by Midea. And take a look at the blade hub. It's exactly the same. It's literally the same molding. I had them actually side by side at one point when I had them, and they're exactly the same. Even the threading and the hole is exactly the same. They're interchangeable basically. It's got the same groove and the flange and the lines down the side. They're literally the same molding. So that I do believe that Midea did come into play later on, but not prior to, at least the recall time. So maybe Midea bought out SMC's fan division partly for North America. Excuse me. In the 2000s, mid 2000s perhaps. But I think that's where the confusion comes from. I think some people, some collectors believe that because of these similarities in the 2000s fans, perhaps the earlier ones were also made by Midea, but I think that was not quite true. I think Midea came into play in the 2000s, but prior to that, I think SMC fans were, made by SMC. What do I have up here? Oh yes, this is a 2017 Everyday Essentials fan. This was made by Midea. You can see the name on the sticker there. And when it's a Midea product, they usually put their name on here like that. And if these SMC fans were made by Midea, these older ones, I'm pretty sure they would have had this name stuck on them, but of course they don't. So that's pretty much it for this video. It's kind of a one-take kind of thing that I did. I honestly suck at making these kinds of videos. I can't do stuff normally in one take, but I don't know, hopefully it came out okay. I mean, if you're seeing this video, that means it turned out okay. So anyways, yeah, these are just some, I guess, points to back up my opinion on, I think, why SMC fans were made by SMC and not by Midea. Feel free to drop your opinions down below. I'd be very interested in hearing them. And if you guys have any findings on why you guys think either SMC fans were made by Midea or SMC, feel free to leave them down below in the comments. Honestly, if this comment section can turn into a nice discussion, it'd be really cool. I would be very interested in hearing other people's opinions on this, but this is just my opinion regarding this ongoing discussion on who made SMC fans. I personally think the SMC fans were made by SMC. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. Hopefully it wasn't too boring, and yeah, I guess I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.